This is free-range, locally grown moss.
Oh my goodness, is it organic?
Yes.
Oh, if it's organic, it's double the money, man. Good job, Logan.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. This is day 3 of this pond build. Pond is done. When I say day 3 of this pond build, there's a bunch of other stuff going on too. It's the lighting and all that out front. But we're basically done with the pond. The wall's basically done. Logan's just gluing on the cap right here. And we have all these skids here that are gonna get cut off when we build this stream. Should have probably, I don't know, there were tight access. We really didn't have a better place to put them. But anyway, right now we're at the point where we have to remove all these skids out of the yard on this side because when we build the stream up there, it's gonna cut off our access to this side of the pond. So Ben's in there right now, moving all the skids out to the front yard because that's really the only other place we have to put them. And as soon as he's done doing that, we're gonna start shaping the waterfall or the stream bed right there where the skid loader is now. And that tallest boulder right there is actually the left framing boulder for the waterfall. So it's gonna kind of cut to the right and then cut back towards that bank, and that's gonna be the top waterfall back up in there. We're not gonna have a whole lot of time to gain, a whole lot of height to gain because we have this wall and stuff and we need to keep the grades looking good, so we can't gain a whole pile of height. It's gonna be a pretty flat stream bed. So it's probably gonna be 2 waterfalls, maybe a ripple in there yet. We'll see what we got. We got some dirt work to bring in around the ponds here and finish these edges off around the pond yet. So the goal today is to get this thing running. We'll see if that's gonna be a possibility. At least it's not snowing and rain. Saturday morning it was like 25 degrees. It was frigid. It was frozen solid as a block of ice. But today, not pleasant, but it's workable. So goal is to get this thing running today. I'll try to be taking some clips here and there just to show you kind of what's going through our thought processes when we're setting our boulders and when we're excavating out the stream bed, and just kind of trying to give you a little bit of an insider's look into how we're building this waterfall. So drop your questions down below in the comments section as we go through this build here. Let me know what your questions are regarding the waterfall build and stuff, and I'll get back to you there in the comments section answering your questions the best I can in a written comment. But yeah, let's cue up the time lapse. So it is lunchtime. Give you a little update here. I haven't been filming as much as I wanted to this morning. It's just been raining and muddy and didn't take the time to get the camera out. But here's what we got going on here. We have this all excavated out. We were doing a bunch of work with getting the plumbing in, the biofalls set, all that. And this is our streamliner, and we're working on building in our boulders that are gonna line in the edge of the stream right behind our framing boulders. Let's see if I can record this without getting people all seasick. I do like to walk around and talk and move where I talk, so. Okay, so what I'm doing here, the goal of this little clip is to show you how I foam waterfalls. So, what we got here, typically what I've seen people do is see, this is my spillway rock right here. And I've seen people, like, you know, get a flat rock in there and they foam that. And they foam this rock really good, and then that's all they do. They forget about the boulders behind the framing boulders, and what happens is you successfully blocked off the water from going down behind this gap. You know, this is the gap that we are going to foam off here, so the water doesn't go down through that gravel, it comes over top the spillway rock. But we also have two major points of water loss if we don't stop it, and that is the boulders directly behind this framing rock. So here we got frame rock, spillway rock, frame rock, two boulders behind the frame rock. And I am going to show you what I like to do. Well, let me show you first what a lot of people do. They just continue foaming right up behind the frame rock and then foam that up right there. I like to actually not foam this frame rock, beyond where it meets the spillway rock. I like to foam this rock behind the frame rock the whole way around until this gets, dirt packed in behind it, and then I'll foam that until it comes up above water height up here. Then I'll leave that open and actually put a gravel pocket here. So I know maybe it'll take a little bit of imagination to see what I'm trying to describe. I'll try to show you some video as I work so you get an idea of what I'm trying to say. Same thing over here. I'll foam the bottom of this boulder the whole way until I come up the back side that's higher than water level, and this will just be a gravel pocket. And the idea of the gravel pocket behind the frame rock on each side is the foam is not waterproof, it only redirects water. So any water that does seep through, this would be a better example over here, any water that does seep through the foam has an escape path right down through this gravel pocket that I'm gonna build in here. If that escape path did not exist, or let's just say that this was built up like that and that's foamed, any water that seeps through there could potentially cause a leak. The most common place that a stream leaks is right where there's height change between water height from the stream level above it down into the pond, or the stream level below it, and right where that height change is and the grade's falling off, this liner falls down and settles or something, and that's what water goes out over the edge of the liner. That's the most common failure point for foam jobs or the way streams are built. So I'm gonna go ahead and foam this thing up. So I already foamed right here. I'm gonna keep foaming right above here, foam that up, but I'm gonna stop right there. So any of the water that seeps through that, I'll have a gravel escape right there. Foam this up. Watch for folds when you're foaming up, because you can lose a lot of water in folds. Cool. Okay, got all that done. I need to find a support rock for this one, because I want to block this off right here to be the same height as that little lip. So it's gonna come across that and fall down over. So I foamed the bottom of this rock all the way over here. Now I'm gonna foam up the vertical backside until I'm up higher than the water level, which I am right here. Now, any water that escapes through that foam seal will have an escape path right down through there, because I'm gonna fill this void up with gravel.
I hate to tell you, but absolutely no one understands what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I'll try my best and then I
leave the rest.
Leave the rest, yeah.
There you go.
I think I'm getting foam all over my camera. Sorry. Panasonic. Let's go see what Ben and Logan are doing here, because this is kind of an important part of doing a good job on a pond. So tell me what you got going on here, Ben.
We're just doing a 6 to 8 inch strip of gravel the whole way around the pond edge.
Like, you mean like the gravel band?
Yep, the gravel band.
Oh my goodness. That is so crazy.
One way to do it right, guys.
That takes so much talent. That needs a little bit more rockage there. It's not quite high enough.
Actually, I have the laser set at water level, and it's definitely high enough.
Well, what I mean is your retainage isn't high enough.
Yes.
Or you can lower your water.
Too high, but
yeah.
I think it was an easy alternative to do.
Yeah, there you go. Now, that's perfect. Exactly what I was saying. So over here is the finished result of what they did. Okay, we have finished foaming this waterfall, and we're working through these gravel pockets here now.
This is free-range, locally grown moss.
Oh my goodness, is it organic?
Yes.
Oh, if it's organic,
Right
it's double the money, man.
Is that a
Beautiful.
dairy product?
That is sweet. Good job, Logan.
Yeah.
You're the new moss hunter. You have replaced Benethan.
Is it a dairy product?
Moss? I don't think so.
Lactose free.
Lactose free.
Lactose free.
Does it have any nuts?
No nuts.
Okay.
It is no allergens whatsoever.
So let me show you how we use this moss. You probably know already if you watch the channel, but for any of you new guys here to the channel, I'll show you. Okay, so see this ugly black foam? It's gonna disappear, and this rock work is gonna look like it has been here for 1,000 years. Just look at that. Just marry the rock together. Oh my. This moss is saying I do. I pronounce you I pronounce you moss and rock. Moss and log probably, or moss and dirt or something, I don't know. So what was really ugly and would have taken a long time to weather and look good and blend in is now done instantly. And the cool part is this moss actually kind of takes root in the foam, and it actually grows because the foam holds some moisture, and it gets enough moisture from mushing it into the foam like what I'm doing right now. Awesome. I love it. Wonder if he has more. Oh my, just look at that. He's coming back laden and bearing gifts. I would take a little thing of pea gravel, just pour a little bit of pea gravel in there in that little dip. And I like having like some deep, I don't know, yeah, depthy gorges behind spillway rock. And rather than just having this level full the whole way back through, create some deep pockets. That makes the water, the pitch of the water that's falling into it changes a little bit. Sounds cool, looks cool, makes it look more natural, all that stuff, you know. I gotta get back to working with two hands again instead of just one. One on here, one holding the camera. I can't film the camera. So let me know if you have any questions about what I just showed you. And meanwhile, I'm gonna get back to work. See ya. Okay, now we're gonna do the gravel pocket on this side. There we go. Good, stop. That's perfect, absolutely perfect. I'm gonna foam this. We packed some dirt up behind here. I'm gonna foam up the wall of this boulder until it's up higher than the water level, and then magic, done.
Okay, we are ready to swing and move boulders.
Yes, we are done fiddling around with this. Time to swing in some more boulders. So today we have 3 tips for how to build waterfalls to make them look natural and to also be functional so they last for many, many years without any issues. So tip number 1 is around setting your frame rock and your spillway rock. Basically, this here is frame rock 1, spillway rock, frame rock 2. Actually, this little rock and this little rock are also spillway rocks. So now let's back up a little bit and take a look at when we were sticking this thing together. The boulder's directly behind the frame rocks. Like this is a frame rock, spillway rock, middle rock, spillway rock. And the boulders behind the frame rocks are almost as important as the frame rocks themselves when it comes to getting your look that you're after. So what I did here is I wanted to get a real like deep, canyony, depthy kind of look with these. So I set this rock in to kind of left a gap here like this, and I want this water to come gushing through here. So I choked it off, you know, it came all the way out to here and then choked it all the way back to here with this rock. This rock, I'm just kind of giving a backdrop. Like I want like a visual backdrop for like people that are looking at this waterfall. I'm just looking for that nice solid looking backdrop right behind it, and it's gonna twist going that way after that rock. So now for tip number 2, I'm gonna talk about a functional point, not so much an artistic or naturalistic looking point. Functional points are these gravel pockets off the corner of the frame rock. So we have frame rock here, the rock directly behind the frame rock, and then here's this gravel pocket. And that thing has a very key purpose. Also over here's another one. Behind this frame rock and this rock behind the frame rock, there's another gravel pocket. Same purpose. So let's back up a little bit and take a look at what we were thinking and talking about when we built that.
That's definitely gonna leak if we were depending on it to not.
Yeah, right. So just get that gravel bag. So here's our foam wall and foam wall back here. So now we're gonna fill this with gravel. And any water that seeps through that foam, straight down. And it will not, otherwise if this gravel pocket were not here and this liner was just like, you know, slammed up against this frame rock real hard, any water that would seep through this foam would build up and build up and build up, and then whoop, leak right out over the edge of the liner. But that's not gonna happen in this case. Tip number 3 is about when you're setting in your rock to kind of create the twists and the turns in your stream. There's a little bit of a brain cramp exercise that goes on in that, or it can be brain crampy. Even after 15 years of doing this, I still get a little bit of a brain cramp once in a while. To get the rocks to do what I want and to have the outcome that I want. Here's Ben starting the excavator. And to have the outcome that I want with the rocks that I have available to me. So right here, we don't have a whole lot of height building up in this stream. It's just gonna be, it falls into the pond. It's gonna go kind of like twisting and turning up through there, and then one more falls up there by the biofalls. To get these twists and turns, basically, to put it in a simple of a turn, to put it as simply as possible, what you wanna do is put your rock directly in the way of the water. So, in other words, we have frame rock, and then directly behind it, we have that rock right there. That rock right there is key in making the twist and turn happen. You don't make the twist and turn happen with your frame rock necessarily. I mean, they can help, but the rock directly behind the frame rock is the most important in getting your twisting action. So for instance, right now, our waterfall is falling into the pond at this angle. Frame rock, spillway rock, and it's falling into the pond like this. Directly behind it is that rock, directly in the way of the water. So we're forcing the water to go around it. And then let's imagine that these two rocks are kind of frame rocks, even though there's no real waterfall here. So we got this rock. Directly behind it is another rock, and it's forcing the water back here. So I'm gonna stand on top here and get a little bit of height. Here you can see we got the water coming through there, boom, in the way. So the water goes around, boom, in the way. Water comes back, and I'm gonna put another rock back there to force it to go back up to where the biofalls is up there. So we'll get a really tight twists and turns in here just by being very attentive and intentional when we're setting these rocks in that look like they're really starting over their purpose, but to line the stream, but they do. They direct the twists and turns of the stream. So there's your 3 tips for the day on waterfall building. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you have any other questions, I'll get back to you. Thanks. I gotta go set this boulder. Ben's fairly annoyed with me right now because I made him shut the machine off. Okay, I'm just gonna set up the camera here while we're building this last waterfall. I don't know yet if I have anything worth to show you or say, but I'm just gonna start doing it. Let's see what we got. Let's go right in against this. I'm gonna try to nestle these 2 boulders together. Come forward a bit. Oh, you're right there. Oh my goodness. That is gonna be awesome. Look at that depthy, gorgy matage stuff. It's all depthy and gorgy. It's gonna come crashing right through there. It's a real nice depth. These rocks made up absolutely perfectly. This is why I like building waterfalls with these rocks. Jack says I'm painting by number, I'm cheating, but that's all right. Looks better than his anyway, so what can you say, you know? Okay, time to get this biofalls hooked up, but I'm gonna turn the camera off, put it in a safe place, keep working.